Medical marijuana is on the agenda at City Hall today. With more on this story, let's go live to City Hall. CP24's Rena here is there. Good morning.
Good morning. Municipal licensing and standards will be meeting behind me shortly. The last I looked inside, they were just sort of assembling. Mayor John Tory asked municipal licensing and standards to come back with a report today. He wanted Toronto Police and the Medical Office of Health in the City of Toronto to be consulted to draft up some sort of framework for the existence of medical marijuana dispensaries in this city. We're joined now by Marc Emery. Marc, who doesn't really think you need to go to a dispensary or need a prescription for access to marijuana. But, you know, you've been watching this discussion. You've had experience in other markets that have moved forward or the cities that have moved forward with some sort of framework. What do you make of the discussion that's happening in Toronto right now?
Well, discussions are good, especially if they preempt law enforcement action that's rather permanent and significant and costly to the taxpayer. So a discussion is good, but ultimately marijuana is harmless and it should be sold in stores through the GTA. And I think we could have 1,000 shops in the city when marijuana is legal, and that would basically deal with the demand. So if people are alarmed with maybe 100 dispensaries, consider that in a legal environment there will be hundreds and hundreds more than that.
Seems unlikely. These two seems that there is a lot of pushback from people who say these dispensaries are opening up near schools. They're opening up in places where they feel that the access to certain vulnerable parts of the population shouldn't be so easy.
Well, vulnerable to what? They're implying that marijuana is harmful. And that's an immediate myth that has to be dispelled. So when we say we should have children frightened of marijuana, that's ridiculous. Children can walk by a marijuana shop and it poses no threat any more than if they walk by a convenience store that sells cigarettes or a liquor store. It's absurd. It's ridiculous to think that children's mind will be poisoned by information or even the visualization of one of the world's most beneficial plants, including very beneficial for children with epilepsy and various neurological disorders. So this fear that people have for marijuana is completely unfounded. And unfortunately, as time goes by, we're able to dispel that myth.
Marc Emery, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate that. We had Councillor Karygiannis out here earlier. He said Project Claudia was really just a waste of money, that enforcement should be focused on other things. Also, when we just spoke to Marc, he opened up a dispensary in Toronto. It was raided on Thursday, reopened Friday morning. Back to you.